it starts. All right. Hi, Kathleen. How are you today?
Good, and you?
Really good. So it's been great talking to you thus far. I understand that you've had a little bit of relocating over the past few years. So you originally moved from Massachusetts to South Florida, and then relocated from South Florida to Volusia County.
Yes, I did.
Okay, great. So you were most recently working down in Pompano. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your work experience?
So when I moved down to Florida, I got to work as an admin assistant and accounts receivable. It was a dual position. I worked closely with the human resource manager, and so I helped with payroll, getting all the hours, tracking the hours that each electrician did, as well as collecting all of the invoices from clients, help them with payments if they needed help, if they had any questions. So I was always in contact and giving them a monthly report for my boss and the HR manager. And anything that they needed, it could have been to pick up a check somewhere. If she needed help with apps, she used Bamboo to find things for her, any kind of clerical work. I left that job when they sold to someone else. They still exist, but it's a different owner. And so I had gone to a general clerk position, and it's working primarily with seized property by the government. So this position, I'm always working basically with the logistics, handling all the pickups of all the property from one location to the warehouse, which is in Pompano Beach. And so working with that. And then if the government had a final disposition, which is like a decision with the property, they want to give it back to the owner violator, I would coordinate that. So I would call them, see when they can pick it up, or if they needed to send transportation. So I would help them with that. Sometimes they needed to manipulate, which is usually scratch off something that wasn't supposed to be there. Sometimes these seized properties, they weren't really anything sketchy. Sometimes it was, but we don't really know about it until, the government tells us. But sometimes it just was like a logo that they had on there that they needed to take off. So sometimes the owner would come in, do that at the location. I would coordinate that, make sure that, whoever is coming to the warehouse, they're vetted and so forth. Also with transportation, they donated a lot of things as well. And then I worked mostly with things coming out and then except for sold items.
Okay. And then, Kathleen, as far as when you were doing the accounting, what type of software were you using for that?
So they wanted me to primarily use Excel for the monthly reports. Yeah.
Okay. And then you were doing AP, AR?
Just AR. They had somebody for AP.
Okay. And so walk me through what a transaction looks like when you have a receivable.
So we would have a big list of all the invoices that came in that was generated. And when it was generated, I would see how much was owed by each client or company. And so whenever we would receive something, it was on the banking information. I don't remember what bank it was. It was a little while ago. Sure. But I do remember we would also get checks. So then when we would get physical checks, I would need to present that to the HR, but also, basically check off, okay, this client paid the exact amount. So we receive things by check, ACH, not cash, and then credit card as well. So I would write down the information if they called me, and then that I would present to the HR manager.
Okay. And then, of course, you've got a multi-line phone system, Microsoft Office, Excel, as you mentioned. Bilingual, you said you can speak Spanish conversationally.
and Portuguese
Oh,
fluently.
and Portuguese as well. Perfect. And you have your degree.
Yes, in psychology.
Okay, bachelor's degree. All right. Well, we're going to chat a little bit more offline. I'm going to go ahead and stop this part of the interview, but don't go anywhere for me, Kathleen.